2013 sci-fi action movie, uh, directed by Neil Blomkamp. Yeah, one of the most acclaimed directors, underrated directors of the 2010s, and that's Elysium. Yeah, this is an hour and 43 minutes, so let's get started and go back into this world again. Here we go. Yeah, I haven't seen this movie in years. It's been so long. I know it's not as good as District 9, but Chappie I still haven't seen yet. So, there's that. TriStar Pictures. Mm-hmm. There's South Africa because, this director loves filming there because it's his home country. Mm-hmm. The late 21st century Earth was diseased, polluted, and vastly overpopulated. Yeah, like today. So this movie was ahead of its time when it came to that opening blurb. It is diseased and overpopulated. That's why COVID happened in the first place. Earth's wealthiest inhabitants fled the planet to preserve their way of life on a space station. This film looks incredible. I mean, it's not a great film, but it does look really good. There it is, Elysium. The idea could have worked in if they had made a few changes. I do have some problems with this movie, but we'll get to that. The look of the film is not the problem, or the effects, or some of the acting. It's just. Yeah. Why does this movie have Spanish in it? It doesn't make any sense. It's South Africa, not South America. Yeah, I think that's the only thing in the movie. One of the things that could have been cut entirely. That's why the movie's an hour and 43 minutes. Like, it was fine when they put it in other movies, but not in this one. I'm like, it's South Africa. You're not making an art film. This isn't Amelia Perez. Yeah, this opening I think could have been cut. Like, in my opinion, you need to show Matt Damon as a kid. Because it leads to nothing. It's like, oh, because him and Alice Braga were friends when they were kids. I'm like, yeah, I don't really need to. The kid does look like Matt Damon. And this is not a foreign movie. It's got an American actor in it, so it's not foreign. Mm, yeah, just mute this. This is why I haven't seen this movie in 12 years. Why are there subtitles? I mean, there's big yellow subtitles, and I'm like, again, South Africa. That's in Africa, not South America, Central America, or North America. Yeah. I think it's just pointless to put a Spanish language in a movie that's not. It's not. This again. The ideas in this movie could have worked, but this movie doesn't need. You're not an art film. Blomkamp didn't do. He didn't put Afrikaans in the movie, so he had to put this. And I'm like, yeah, it's really forced because a third of the dialogue is in Spanish. I'm like, that wasn't needed. In my opinion, I hear it all the time. I don't need to hear it in a movie, especially a movie that has a white actor as a lead. Okay, there's Matt Damon. Now we're in the present, or the future, whatever you want to call it. Again, wrong location, and that doesn't come back in the film until he's Because Alice Braga's from Brazil. She's not even Spanish. That's what doesn't make any sense to me. They cast a Brazilian actress to play a Hispanic, and she's not Hispanic. Los Angeles 2154. So yes, this is the future. Is that why they put Spanish in the movie? Because they're in Los Angeles, but it's Los Angeles and they filmed it in South Africa. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not done. Mm. Mm. Yeah, you Spanish people can't act in this movie. This is why Emilio Perez only won 2 Oscars for the score, I think for one of the songs, and for actress Zoe Saldana, who is a fluent speaker. Selena Gomez is not, and yeah, you could tell. I just hope that 2020. I'm not gonna make it to 2054, but by the time I'm in 2030, I hope that it's not run by just this country's not run by foreigners, because I really don't want to live here. If that's the case, I'd rather move to Canada. Where they don't speak Spanish, because there's no Spanish people up there. Please wait. Unmute it. I'm sorry. Just half the dialogue, like I said, is in Spanish. It doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. I know Los Angeles, they speak it. I get it. I'm not stupid. There's a bunch of Mexicans there, but this is not Mexico. This is South Africa. Again, they don't understand. The robots are cool. English dudes. This is why nobody saw this movie. I did. I remember District 9. There was no Spanish in that movie. Because Sholto Copley's from South Africa, too. These robots are cool. They've used the same robots for Chappie years later. It's one of the reasons why I didn't like the Fast and the Furious movies. They put Spanish in that because they can, not because it makes any sense. Because Michelle Rodriguez is there. So what? She's not in all the films. She's really not. Fast Five had Spanish and she's not in the film. So what's your excuse? They just want to put subtitles so people can read. I told you, I don't read. I don't read in the theater. There's Alice Brock. I never liked this actress. See, I told you I had some problems with this movie. The Spanish and the ending, and also there's some editing problems in the film, and also Jodie Foster's accent. Oh my God, this, like I said, this movie's flawed. Alien, this is not. Alien is a much better movie. It's a classic, and it has way less problems in this movie. Because ever since I saw Alice Braga in I Am Legend, I'm like, she can't act. She's got that same face. She looks half asleep. There's a reason she never caught on. Yes, Josh. Even in New Mutants, she can't act, and that was a decade after this. That was in 2020. They filmed it in like 2017, but it was doomed. She just takes me out of the movie every time. Mm. This does have a lot of problems, but some of the acting's not the problem. Except for even Alice Braga, even though I don't like her, she's just there for me. Here, she doesn't ruin the movie. We're only 9 minutes in, and there were like 18 subtitle scenes. Jeez. If this is the future, I don't want to live in this kind of future where everything sucks, like Terminator, and robots and foreigners are taking over the country. No, thank you, sir. Okay, I have to deal with that every time I leave this house. That's why I wear earplugs outside, so I can keep my sanity. This movie makes Demolition Man look hopeful, and I wasn't crazy by then. No, no pills. I saw The Matrix. Even Uwe Boll doesn't put this much Spanish in his films, and he did House of the Dead. This is why I'm never going to go to another Spanish country. I went to one when I was a kid and I hated it, so it's just not my thing. I hear enough of it here in New York City. Blomkamp, all of his films look great because District 9 looked great. This film looks great. Choppy, the look of the film wasn't the problem. It's just that except for the robot, a lot they said the human characters are unlikable and annoying. Yeah, again because he has to put foreigners in every one of his films. Some directors are like that. I would have liked to see Neil Blomkamp's Alien 5. He would have done a better job than Ridley Scott with those stupid prequels. Because at least Blomkamp has a vision. William Fichtner, yeah, he's in this movie. I forgot he was in this movie. Because it's been years. This technology is really cool in the movie. They have a machine that can heal diseases. That's very interesting to me. See, that's an idea they should have went with. But a lot of the film is just, look, it's a bunch of Spanish people subtitled. I'm like, I don't care. I really don't care. The robots are cool. But like I said, if I want to see robots, I'll see Terminator. I'll see, well, those are cyborgs, but, or Transformers, or Short Circuit, or Wall-E, or any of these movies with robots, even Star Wars. This film was kind of an allegory for immigration today, but again, I don't give a damn. I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm never going to get deported, and my family was born here too. Well, most of them. They were born here and they're Americanized. They're American citizens, so they can't go anywhere. I'm not scared of immigration. I don't give a damn, guys. I'm not a political person. I do these podcasts for you, not for the politics of this world. If I did, I wouldn't even be here. See, this is cool. They have these screens, these giant screens. Yeah, that guy's clearly South African. That's not a that those spaceships are cool. But again, it's like Blomkamp wanted to say, look, immigration, doesn't that entice you? No, it kind of took people out of the movie. Because people have to deal with that every time they turn on the news. Or go on YouTube or something. I don't care about that. I don't. Foreigners can't have this country. This country was bred on Native Americans who were here first. Here comes Jodie Foster. Oh my God, her accent is horrible. I don't know what accent that is. We get it. She can speak French. But that's not the problem. The problem is, why is she speaking English in two accents? And why are you gay? Oh wait, this Pride Month is over. It doesn't matter. You know, yeah, I don't know what accent that is. When I saw this movie in the theater, I'm like, why is she talking like that? It's an American actress speaking in French, and then she has like a French British accent. It doesn't make any sense, guys. See, that's the problem. There's problems with the movie. Just talk in your normal voice. Sharlto Copley does. He's not sounding French or Spanish or something like that. He knows what he is. He was fine in the 18 movie, even though he's not American, but, you know. Just speak in your normal accent. Stop trying to impress me. You won an Oscar twice, Jodie Foster. You don't need to impress me. Because you don't anymore. I've never seen Silence of the Lambs, but I heard that it was a good movie despite the issues with it. But I'd rather go back to the beginning and see Manhunter first. That's the first movie in the franchise. You got that, Silence of the Lambs, then you got Hannibal, and then you got Red Dragon. It doesn't make any sense. She could have spoke French and spoken her in her American accent. It's just that this is what happens when you have bad direction for certain actors. They want to try something. There's Sharlto Copley, yeah. He has a beard here, so it looks different than he did in District 9. He looks like he's 10 years older here. At least he's talking in his normal accent. He's just less likable here than he was in. He was the hero that turned into an alien in District 9. Here he's a villain. One of the villains. Whoa, he's packed. Missiles. There's a shot of the Earth. They're trying to shoot the space station, yeah. Like I said, this is a good looking film. You know who does better films than Blomkamp? I know this is a hot take. Denis Villeneuve. His movies look incredible and they make sense. Yeah, they're too long, especially Blade Runner and the Dune movies, but they look fantastic. I love looking at his films. And he's a foreigner, but he has a vision. There's a reason his movies get critically acclaimed. This one got a mixed reaction, and I get why. You see my problems with it. Because Jodie Foster. Uh-oh. Kaplooey. People thought we were just going to get a fun, sci-fi action movie, and that's not. That's only part of the movie. A lot of it is about a lot of allegories, and people don't want to sit through message movies or subtitles. I know, because when I saw Shang-Chi, they're like, "Why is this subtitle?" Oh yeah, because they want to keep it Asian. Keep your allegories to yourself, okay? Filmmakers, you don't need to preach to me when I'm watching a movie. When I see Superman, it doesn't have to be an allegory on racial relations. I already got that in the trailer. I don't need it anymore. He's an alien. He's not a citizen. I get it. Okay, I get it. James Gunn is going to have a message in the movie, but be subtle about it. Don't shove it in my face, please. Reconstruction. Illegal. See? See? Yep. Robots. I mean, geez, Dora didn't have this much Spanish in it, and I saw both of those movies, the Lost City of Gold and the Sol Dorado. I just saw that one. I got to review it this week, but that was a fun movie, and it was shorter. It wasn't a allegory on Mexican immigrants in the border. It didn't need to preach about that. It wasn't necessary. That's a cool shot. Hello, John. This movie kind of reminds me of Blue Beetle, where it had to be put in Spanish. Yeah, they forced it in here because I'm like, Blomkamp is a South African Canadian director, and they filmed the movie in South Africa. Yet they're speaking Spanish. It's supposed to be Los Angeles in 2054. I'm like, you're not Terminator. You don't need to put Spanish in there. The second one had a lot of it, but it doesn't make any sense because it's a white actor. Because Matt Damon. Ah, that's Diego Luna. I hate that actor. I can't stand that actor. Yes, I don't like Andor, guys. I know a lot of people love the show. I say to hell with that show. It's a Mexican Drake Bell pretending to be important, and then he dies in Rogue One. What is so deep about this character? Tell me. What am I missing? What am I missing? Can't stand this actor. Ever since the Terminal, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, you can't act. How was he important? Andor is the most overrated Star Wars show I've ever seen. I've seen clips and I'm like, this is boring. It's just people talking. Yeah, he talks like that in every movie, except in movies that he speaks his native tongue, which I don't watch because, again, I hear enough of it at home. That's why the Spider-Verse movies, yeah, that bothers me because Rio has to speak it in every other scene she's in. I'm like, we get it. She's Puerto Rican. I get it. Okay, that's only part of what Miles is. He looks mostly black. He wears black. He looks black. He has an afro. Yeah. He's more into black culture than Hispanic. Just that's just how it is. Really, his name should be Miles Davis because that's his father's last name, Davis. But again, that's a singer, so they don't want to call him Miles Davis. They said Miles Morales. Just make him part Spanish. I don't make him interesting. That's the one. That's the one part of the of his character that I'm like, yeah, I could take it or leave it, guys. Look at me. I'm gonna play Miles at a convention, but I don't need to speak Spanish. Because again, he's just a character. He's not real. That's part of who he is. Again, Nightcrawler's religious, and I don't care about that in the X-Men. It's just not my thing. I like his powers and his look, and even his German accent, it doesn't bother me. But that part, I'm like, yeah, whatever. We're 22 minutes in. Now, Blue Beetle was more painful because that movie got depressing. It's supposed to be a fun comic book movie, and then the dad dies, and like, why? It comes out of nowhere. We knew he had a bad heart, but I'm like, it's just sad. It's a sad foreshadowing. I really don't. This is why this movie's not as watchable as District 9 or even Alien or Aliens, even Alien Resurrection. And like, it doesn't have this much Spanish in it. That was Diego Luna in a cameo, but he doesn't appear in the rest of the film, so. Organic tissue detected. I forgot Diego Luna was in this movie. Because this was 3 years before Rogue One came out, and I'm not a fan of that movie. I saw it, and I'm like, I don't know why these characters are important. The only one I liked was K2SO, because he's a robot. He's a droid, and he's cool. And he's one of the only characters that has a sense of humor in that movie. Everybody's taking it so seriously. Like it's, I know Star Wars is about war, but you can have fun with it. Look at the original trilogy and the prequels. Look at the Ewoks movies. You can have fun. Another flashback. Yeah, that's another thing. Oh my God. Like I said, I don't love this movie. I think it's decent, but it needed a lot of editing. Matt Damon could have been a kid in a foster care system, but he didn't need to put Spanish. You only did that because you want to be artsy. I got news for you. Nobody liked Emilia Perez. It was one of the worst rated movies of last year, saying it's pretentious, and nobody cared that it was in Spanish. It could have been in French, English, or Chinese. But if you're not telling a story, shut up, okay? Please, director. You're not highbrow because look, I did a whole movie in Spanish. That's never been done. Yeah, it's been done decades before you did. Hell, in the 30s, the first Dracula was the second Dracula movie was in Spanish after Nosferatu and the Bela Lugosi version. You're not doing anything new. Yes, I know. It's a bad foreshadowing in the movie. I don't hate this movie, though. But it's just not as good as District 9. And William Fichtner is not the problem with the movie either. A lot of people hate this guy. I don't think he's the problem here. He's just in the film. That's it. Because you notice that Denis Villeneuve didn't do a big budget movie until after this. Because when did Arrival come out? That was 2016, right? Yeah. Sicario came out like 2 years. Oh, that guy was in Iron Man. Yeah, he was in Iron Man. Except for Matt Damon, like half of the people in this movie have an accent. What accent is that, Jodie Foster? Please tell me. Why do actors try to sound like something they are not? It doesn't make any sense. I already have a problem with your sexual preference. Why are you talking like that? Children. Yeah, that's just bad direction. It's not like Blomkamp's a bad director. He knows how to shoot a movie, but with some actors, they try to do something that just it fails. Pick an accent and stick with it. Don't try to do two, because then I don't know what you're saying. I don't know half the things you're I don't know why you're sounding like that. It takes me out of the movie. It does. Barbecue. That looks good. Again, I agree. More Diego Luna, yeah. I don't get it. I thought it was just a cameo. Like I said, I haven't seen this movie in 12 years. Yeah, Pedro Pascal is still a better actor than him. Did I mention this movie's really depressing? Yeah. Don't worry. Next Sunday, I'm not going to do a movie this upsetting. I mean, geez, even Logan had a joke or two. And it's a better movie than this. It's longer than this. That's the problem. And that also has Spanish, but there's no subtitles because they thought X-23 would be really interesting if she doesn't talk and then out of nowhere she speaks Spanish. I'm like, we get it. Daphne King is Hispanic. We get it. Okay, we all get it. I'm not stupid. I go on IMDb every day. I know exactly who everybody is. I know what they are. I know what they speak. I know everything. Right up here. I'm not stupid. I know that black actor. He's Canadian, one of the few Canadians in the film. He was in he. I just saw him in Swindle. I did a podcast for that. That's a much more enjoyable movie because it's not depressing and it's not about allegories, bonfires. 9:29. We're about 30 minutes in, so we're about a third of the way through the running time. Good thing this movie's not 2 hours. What? Let's just say I'm glad that 1 year after this we had Interstellar. While it's very long, it's a much better movie than this. I mean, it's a Christopher Nolan movie, and yet it's visually fantastic. And Matthew McConaughey, he doesn't speak in Spanish in that movie. That's much better. Also, Anne Hathaway's great in it. Even Topher Grace is in it. Like, everybody cries in that movie. This is why at Comic Con I don't meet people that are Spanish because I'm like, I already see them every day, guys. They don't interest me most of the time. When I said I want to meet someone of color, I mean Asian, Middle Eastern, black, Pakistani, or something completely, or Native American, kind of like me. Got no interest in anybody Hispanic in any Comic Con unless it's Pedro Pascal, because he's cool. He's someone I would like to hang out with and talk to. And the other one's like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, the robotic arms. Yeah. Also, this movie doesn't have a woman to look at for the whole film. Because you have Jodie Foster, who's a lesbian, and you got Alice Braga, who I'm not a fan. Yeah, if you've seen a Watch Mojo video of the worst accents, this accent's in there. I mean, you know Brie Larson, Jodie Foster. Sorry. Because Brie Larson picks an accent and sticks with it. She doesn't just switch her accent out of nowhere. That's not the kind of actress she is. Blomkamp would have done a better Alien movie than Ridley Scott later in with Covenant and with Prometheus. Because I heard Romulus was mixed. Like, some of the practical effects are good, but the CGI and the fan service, you don't need that in Alien. I already have the original. Why are you gonna try to be like that? You're never gonna be Alien, or Aliens, or Alien. Resurrection or whatever. You're just not gonna be like those. Do something different. Don't do the same movie. Fan service. This is how it was when I got my COVID booster a few years ago. It was painful, but I had to get it done, and I was able to survive because I'm not afraid of a needle. What's with this Batman music, right? It's like dun 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 dun. Did Hans Zimmer do the music for this movie? No. It's like Kong's robotic arm in Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire. Mm, it's like RoboCop. Would like to protect his data? Yeah, always protect your data. Cerebral upload. Funny how a movie like this is so foreign, yet there's no Brits in the major role. That's strange. I guess because Blomkamp doesn't like putting Brits. He only puts them in Chappie. Chappie, there's Brits in that movie, but not this one. But I didn't see Chappie because I heard it was disappointing. Could shut this air off. It's not that hot today. It's like in the 70s. I'll need the air later. See, those robots were cool. Even when I first saw this movie, I'm like, oh, that's cool. But you need more than just visuals to tell a story. Mm. Ha 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 ha. That's a stupid line. Now it looks like a Mad Max movie or Death Race, which I think is a better movie because it knows what it is. It's much shorter. The 2008 Death Race movie with Jason Statham. Yeah, I prefer it over this movie any day. It doesn't have people. It doesn't have people doing the weird accents in it. I mean, Statham always sounds like that, but it's really cool. That Cole is there. He sounds British, but no, he's South African. Some of these people sound like that. Like Charlize Theron doesn't, but I'm saying like most of the ones that, for some reason, England had to go there to so they could learn English in South Africa because they had to appropriate the entire freaking earth. But whatever, they're gonna lose this summer. We all know Superman. This is gonna be his summer. This summer belongs to the Man of Steel. In 5 days, I'm going. Oh hell yeah! This is a cool scene. One of the few scenes in the movie that's not subtitled. Yeah, this music sounds too much like The Dark Knight. It's weird. Finally, an action scene. Max. His name is Max, and they're in the desert. Yeah. I rest my case. Shoot him. It's 2154, and they don't have like laser guns or something like that. Oh, that robot got blown up. That was a cool scene in slow mo. Some of this editing is a little bit rough. They thought they were doing a Jason Bourne movie, even though this was decades. This was a decade after Bourne Identity. Need some socks. Let me. Some socks. Yep, gotcha. He's shaking the camera. Please stop doing that. I want to see what's going on. I don't want to see the. I don't want to. I don't want to see the cinematographer having a seizure. You know, because that's what was a problem with the Taken sequels. There's too much shaky cam. They can't keep the camera steady on it. I want to see every shot. Furiosa, they didn't shake the camera. Yep, decapitation. Sync complete. Saber. It's a lot of people suffering in this movie. Yep, he got blown to pieces. That guy was toast. Mm-hmm. It's a nice silent part. A very one of the few quiet moments in the film. There's just it's just dead silence. Yep, more shooting. Yep, he stabbed him. Kylo Ren. This is when he blows up his face. Yeah. Yes, thank you for killing Diego Luna. He died in Rogue One, so he dies here because he's useless. Until he has a shield. That's kind of cool. The sword is covered in blood. Mm-hmm. No, he's dead. That's the flag of South Africa. I know, because I've seen it before. At least this movie's under 2 hours, which is a good thing, because if it was any longer, it would have been painfully long. Like, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, the first one. That was 2.5 hours. It didn't need to be that long. If you cut half the characters, it would have been under 2 hours. Especially the last movie. 2 hours and 41 minutes to tell a story that's not that epic. It really isn't. A drone. Pigs. Find him. Well, I'll say this: Sartor Copley has a unique voice. At least he's not annoying. Like one of these guys that reviewed this movie said that he sounds British. I'm like, he's South African. Do your research next time you say there's something that they're not. That's a cool shot. You got the sunset and you have the spaceships in the background. Blomkamp has talent. There's no doubt about it. He knows how to hold a camera. But enough with the shaky cam. We don't want to do the one. You imagine if I did the whole video shaking my phone like this. You couldn't see my face. Keep the camera steady in an action scene. I don't get why this movie loves to shake the camera. I don't get it. I don't get it because I'm like, I saw District 9. I don't remember the camera shaking like that. And I saw Furiosa, and again, no, they don't shake the camera. In an action scene, I want to see wide shots. I want to see the camera steady. I want to see every detail. I don't want the camera to be doing like this, like somebody's having a seizure or has Parkinson's. Sorry, I don't want to see the camera. I want to see what's going on. Even Godzilla versus Mothra, I said that was one of the few issues I had with the movie. The scene when he fights Mothra when she's flying, they shake the camera a little bit. You don't need to shake the camera. I want to see what's going on. Can you imagine if they shook the camera during a Rocky fight? It would suck, wouldn't it? Or they badly edited? No, because Avildsen and Stallone don't shake the camera that much. It's a bad technique that they try to use in everything. It's not even a technique. It's an issue. This is why I haven't seen Fury Road yet, because people's like, it's a masterpiece, and I'm like, I'll wait, okay, because I don't want to see anything depressing right now. Next week I'm doing a comedy, so I could at least laugh and smile, because this movie's so somber. Granted, Dune is not a comedy either, but at least I smiled more. None of us do, Matt Damon. None of us do. Little teddy bear. Again, you're not Spanish. Why are you speaking Spanish? You're Brazilian. I'm not stupid, Alice Braga. Again, you sound like Rio Morales in Into the Spider-Verse. Don't worry, I'm not doing that to one tomorrow. I'm gonna wait till the end of the week, or I'll just do it next week. At least it's funnier than this. This movie's depressing. And that movie doesn't have subtitles because they think they automatically know what they're saying. Another flashback. I don't care about these flashbacks. These flashbacks are completely pointless, guys. G.I. Joe did a lot of this, and it's a very bad tick that's in way too many movies now. Every DC movie has one. Yes, even Superman's gonna have one. I admit it. They're gonna have at least one flashback in the movie. But don't tell your story and stop the movie to put a flashback like, oh, look what happened to him when they were kids. I know, right? You don't have to do it. We're an hour in, so the movie's almost over. Also, rest in peace, Julian McMahon. I know I forgot to mention that in the beginning, so it's sad he had cancer, man. Sucks, man. And also the composer of the X Files, also rest in peace. Because I wasn't a fan of when Will Smith dies in I Am Legend. There's a different cut where he doesn't die, but it's a alternate ending. No, flashbacks don't tell the story. The first 5 minutes starts with a flashback when he's a kid. RoboCop was less depressing than this movie. He dies in the first 20 minutes. But at least it has some, unintentional comedy in it. And also it's got great action sequences that they don't shake the camera for. Or RoboCop 2. A drone. Ugh. Here come the villains of the movie, the mercenaries. A gentleman. Good thing he's not from New Zealand. Did I mention this is an R rating? It's not PG-13. Blomkamp doesn't do PG-13 because he's not exactly a light director. Him and Denis Villeneuve, they do very violent movies. Not all of them. Arrival is a PG-13, but it's very serious. He's sick. You don't tell the villain what they want to hear, they'll abduct you. They don't make Sholto Copley sympathetic in this movie. No, he was sympathetic in District 9. Here, he's a villain. Of course he's dead. I know. Really. '70. Yeah, you're the main character of the movie. A what? Here we go. Third act of the movie. I'll admit this movie has flaws. It does. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't. Furiosa's a better movie, and that flopped. Bad timing, I guess. They waited too long to do a pre. Instead of a sequel, we got a prequel. So people. I know. This when he blows up his face. It doesn't kill him, but it just messes up his face. I'm like, wow, that's. The music still sounds like. It still sounds like The Dark Knight. Spider, that's the name of the guy. Yep, Elysium, the space station that has all the curing machines. That's a part of the movie that I really enjoy. That when they go to the space station because it looks cool, but the rest of the movie, a lot of it is just a mess. It's not as bad as the sequel trilogy. That was three bad movies. I'm talking about this one film. Yep, hair is good. You know what's coming, guys. Sorry, this movie didn't make it nearly as much money as Frozen. That was a global phenomenon. That led to a sequel and a bunch of merch, and Elsa becoming the most over princess in Disney history. If you've seen her in any iteration, she got over. Yep, right in his face. Oh man, his face just exploded, man. Sheesh. This is not as bad as The Predator. That movie was horrendous, absolutely horrendous, because they try to take a serious franchise like Predator and make it into an MCU type comedy, and it's not funny. I know some of these actresses. And the mind control. Believe me, Foster, you weren't doing your job in this movie. You were not. Facial wise, she does fine, but that accent, I don't know what the hell you were thinking. Oh, it was the director's choice. No, actors usually they tell them that they try to do an accent and they try to go with it. Thankfully, the movie's almost over, so I'm glad I'm getting this out of the way now because next Sunday I'm not going to do a sad movie like this. I want to do a comedy of some kind. Maybe Back to the Future or something like that. You know, something that's going to make me smile, not something that's going to make me like, "Damn, this is just cringe." This is not cringe in like it's badly made. It's just that it's got problems. The first half of the movie, you could have cut a lot of stuff out. There's the bed. Fade out. It's almost 10:30, so the movie's gonna be over soon. The movie's like we're 81 minutes in, so we're almost done, guys. Hang in there. The few of you that are watching this, it says no views, but you know some people didn't want to watch this. Those 23 views I was getting, that was a bunch of bots. They're not real. They're just a bunch of fake accounts. He was gonna die, Shalta Copley. He should have been dead. That grenade blew his face off. This is a cool scene. It reconstructs his face like if it never happened. It's like in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and he's fine. A machine that could reconstruct your face without surgery? How awesome was that? The dots on his face are gone. Ugh, they stuck that thing right in his mouth. Ugh. I think the ending sucks in this movie, though. It really does, because it didn't need to happen like this. They could have found they could have compromised and made the ending less downbeat. The girl lives, but you know what happens, guys. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna say that the ending is just as bad as Rogue One? Yeah, it is, because it's not like everybody dies, but you have to have a piece of glass. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm. Thank you. You spared me another 20 minutes. That's the only time in the movie that Jodie Foster shows, like, her reaction fits. Don't ever do an accent again, Jodie Foster. You're not that good, okay? You didn't you didn't win an Oscar in Silence of the Lambs for your accent. That was masterfully directed. At least I heard that it was. It's like, I'm the villain of this movie, am I? He sounds like a pirate from Pirates of the Caribbean. That I'm shocked he wasn't in any of them. You know, you could have cut her head off, but again, mm-hmm. More bombs. Mm-hmm. It's a downbeat ending, and I'm like, I hate downbeat endings. Even Passengers had that problem, because both Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt are gonna be dead by the end of the film. Like, why did you have to do that? Give us some hope. Don't kill off the main characters. I hate that. E4. The final battle is 9. You want to kill the villain off? That's fine. That comes with the territory. But why would you kill off your main character? RoboCop 2 wasn't this depressing at the end. No podcast on Friday because I'm going to go see Superman. That's going to be uplifting and not this, not a depressing 2 hour drama. See, they're shaking the camera again. Please stop doing that. See, that's a cool gun, but they show it at the very end of the film. $90 minutes in. It's the same downbeat ending in I Am Legend, and you don't need that. You don't need that. Give people hope. Stop trying to bum them out in the theater. It's like if Oppenheimer ended and then Cillian Murphy dies in it, like he blows up. Would it make any sense? No. Then why did we invest in these characters, you know? Dumb writers. And this was a summer movie? This came out in August of 2013. I'm like, yeah, that's why people they skipped this and they would have rather seen Iron Man 3 again or what was the Pixar movie that year? Monsters University. That's way better than this movie because it's light and it's hopeful. It's not a down it it's a mixed reaction. It got a mixed ending, where it's not a happy ending, but it's not a downbeat ending either. It's kind of a mixed ending. This kind of looked like the ending of Alien, where they're going through the corridors and there's, it's that was a cool slow mo shot. It's like Wonder Woman with her arm bracelet that it could protect her from bullets. My sword. Poor Spider. He didn't do anything. He just wanted to become a Elysium citizen so that he could get he didn't have to live on planet Earth in that crap hole of Los Angeles 2054. You see, this is why Comic Con's at San Diego, not Los Angeles, in California. Ooh. Started. At least I'm done with Jodie Foster in this movie. See, stop shaking the camera. I want to see what's going on. You know, I saw Terminator and Terminator 2, guys. They don't shake the... James Cameron, I give him credit. He doesn't shake the camera when he's doing an action scene. He wants you to see every frame. I hated Avatar, but that's only because they're too long and they're boring. This movie's not boring. It just has a lot, some technical and visual problems. Yeah, there's a lot of blood in this movie. Again, it is an R rating. That's not my problem. I saw Deadpool and Wolverine and it had a lot of blood in it, but that didn't bother me because I knew what was that I was getting into. Yep, he shut him down. This time you don't regenerate. We should have gotten somebody else who knows how to keep the camera steady. Yeah, Blomkamp is a good director when it comes to shooting, the way the movie looks, but the editors just need to be fired. This time you blow up. Yeah, now you can't be repaired because you blew up into pieces. This downbeat ending just doesn't feel right. The little girl. Also, that music is kind of pretentious. Yeah, again, you're not Avatar. You're not doing an art film. You're just making a movie. Legal. See, like I said, it's a allegory of people trying to get a citizenship. I get the movie's message, guy. We know. Of course not. The director always has to have some kind of a somber ending. District 9 also kind of had that because he turns into into the alien, but the thing is, that movie was still better than this. At least it didn't have a ton of flashbacks and shaky cam and. Again, stop with the damn flashbacks, please. We get it. He was a kid. Press the button. Yeah, this ending sucks, guys. You thought Infinity War was downbeat? At least some people stay alive in Infinity War. This is like, wow, it's just, it's downbeat for no reason. And it pissed me off in the theater. I'm like, that probably make. Again, I don't care about your stupid flashbacks. Your flashbacks are not interesting. Matt Damon is white. He's not Hispanic. Stop treating him like he's like Spaniard or something. He's white. European descent. 2, 1, 0. And the lights are off on the Elysium. And it's back on. M. Santiago. Lipoplastic leukemia. It's almost done. Still, there's a downbeat ending. It's just like I Am Legend. Why? And there's no machine like that in real life that can cure all diseases. I wish I would use it on my family. New citizens in need of medical attention. I get the allegory, so, Blomkamp, but your writer should have done a better ending. They're the ones that write the ending. Why would you kill off Matt Damon? We liked his character. He could have saved everybody. You're not Neo in the Matrix, where it's like, oh, it's got to die to save everybody. No, the last time they did that right was an Endgame. Tony snapped his fingers, and then Thanos was snapped away. I'm a U.S. citizen. Nobody could take away my freedom. The ending sucks. Yeah, the ending kind of took me out of the movie. Not that they become citizens of Elysium. I'm saying that Damon dying. It wasn't needed. It took me out of the movie. Again, I don't care about your stupid flashbacks. Stop already. Damn. This nun, I don't give a damn about this actress. You're trying to be artsy and you're not. You failed. I'm sorry, Neil Blomkamp. District 9 was more artsy than this. It didn't have Spanish in it. They didn't shake the camera, and it was telling a story of a man in this society, that these alien that would be treating like, these alien bugs that were treated, like second class citizens. Since this is a flawed movie, are you planning on donating it? No, not yet. Not yet. I still want to see the special features, but that was Neil Blomkamp's Elysium. Don't hate it, but like I said, it has a lot of problems. And there's some special features on the Blu-ray I'll probably see some other time. See, the Blu-ray has an extended scene and Visions of 2054, The Journey to Elysium and Support a Story. Yeah, but the movie, yeah, like I said, watch it once, and then you don't have to watch it again. And that's what my recommendation if you've never seen it. But stick with District 9. It's his best film. Has way less problems. So anyway, thanks for watching. Acknowledge me, and I'll see you guys tomorrow doing a much shorter movie. See you then.